There are two kind of things that I want to talk about in this video, and I don't necessarily think people will agree or enjoy both points that I'm trying to make necessarily, or both like things I'm trying to do. But we're just gonna forge ahead anyway. So it started on Tinder, as where most fantastic things start. I met this chick, and immediately she seemed to have like a bit of a different sex drive than everybody else, that you normally meet on Tinder. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then we're gonna meet up. We're talking about meeting up, and then she starts telling me about like we had a normal conversation, right? We're gonna meet up. It sounds great. And then she starts talking about like the kinds of things that she likes in bed, which I was like, okay, cool, this is great. We haven't even met you yet. And so I should have maybe thought of this as a sign, but let's be honest, that's a sign of a good time. You can't just nope any. If you listened to any time your car like made a noise, or like any time there was like a like someone honking at you, where would you get in life, right? So uh we forged ahead, and so I decided to meet up with this lady, and she starts telling me what kinds of things she likes sexually, and then they get like way over the top, like level, like she starts talking about wanting to be a sex slave of mine. And it's not necessarily that I think sex slaves are weird or over the top, or anyone who's into BDSM is strange. I disagree. In fact, I say nay to that. However, I do think it's strange to introduce this immediately after like not like just like introducing like your name to someone, like not even meeting this person other than talking with you on Tinder and on like Snapchat and text messages. And so I think it's a bit of a jump, I think you could say. And so this made me a little nervous and skittish going along. But it's like, hey, let's extend this time. Maybe we should just talk a little bit. Maybe we should just talk a little bit. And I'm realizing I can't get this chick to leave me alone at this point in time, because I've kind of realized maybe, I think a good first litmus test is like if you find something like you disagree with, or like you find someone that you might be like annoying or something like that. If you push off a bit and like give them like what happens when you push away, like if you just give them space or something like that. And I think that could be a big sign of the kind of person. And she would just send tons and tons and tons and tons of texts. Like, what are you doing? Pay attention to me. Why aren't you paying attention to me? Text me back. And then it would just be like, Jesus Christ, this is strange. And so finally, I just was like, no, I'm out of this, hardcore out of this. And she, and like I was like, okay, that's it. We're just gonna stop talking to her. That's gonna be it. And then months later, uh, she sent me a text message. It was just like, hey. And I was like, oh, I'll see what this chick's up to. And turns out like she had moved to Dallas, and that's in the middle of the country. I'm in Tennessee. She's moves to Dallas. It's like she moved. It's a far away place, and she's saying like, oh, you should come be my boyfriend. Come visit me. Come date me. Come be with me. And she just like, I would ignore them, to a certain point. But she would keep saying them, and eventually you can't just continue to pay zero attention to it. And so I was like, I think we're pretty far away to make this happen. And I don't think it's necessarily going to work. I think we're pretty far apart on this, both literally and figuratively. And she's like, no, just come visit me. It'll be a great for you, right? Isn't that like kind of what every guy wants? You can just come and like have sex with me and then leave, and then come back and do it again later. And it's just like, you sound so crazy, because that's very clearly not what you want, judging by what you've told me. And then later she's so I stopped texting her again, and then later she sends me another text, and she's talking about how she's like somewhat of a porn star, like not like she calls herself a porn star. She's like, I sell porn now, and I'm a porn star. So she says like she'll send nudes or videos to like a few people, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, what? Like, I know like it's a pretty common thing. for not like very common, but it's a thing that happens with people like my age. And so she's talking to me about doing that, and she's also got this job at like a cycling studio. And it's really frustrating because this chick was like started as like a thick chick, or maybe beyond a thick chick. So to say. And then she got this job at a cycling studio. There was that break where she I decided to not say anything, where she had been like, hey, what's up, after the long period of time. And she had gained weight, like she got bigger throughout the process of working there. And apparently she had said she had worked at another cycling like indoor studio, and they fired her because they said, if you're overweight, no one will believe that the process works, that like that the workouts work. And that's a really good fucking point, because if your job is to do workouts for a living and you're gaining fucking weight, it doesn't work. And so it was just really frustrating, especially because I am a cyclist. So it was really frustrating for me to have her talk about how she dances on a bike. Like that's like she's like, we'll send like a video, like that's like their workout, like they pedal easy and like do hand like calisthenics. And so it's just like this crazy chick. And I think I might have gotten rid of her this most recent time, but who really knows? I think the key here is just to block and hope she doesn't show up at my door someday.